Welcome back, my lovely people. Welcome back to my channel. And if you like the content that I'm putting out there, please subscribe because there will be a video every second day. Like every other day, I will post a video. And the videos are really interesting because they resonate with every single moment in your life, and the more you know about your mind, the more you will be able to change, right? If there is something you want to change. And today is something that many people want to change. It's the weight problem, weight loss, right? Weight issue, excess weight. Call it wherever it is. We are talking about psychological part of it. Psychological reason for the weight issue. I'm not talking about hormonal changes. If you're taking hormones, right, and that caused your body to gain weight. And if it's something that was caused by any physical, something that is not connected to your mind, but you still can listen to this because this is really, really important, right? I'm talking about psychological reasons. So I put people in 4 groups, right? So one group is people who have great weight. Like they have beliefs that they have great weight. They can eat whatever they want, right? They just don't even think about what they eat, and or they eat very healthy since the beginning, since their childhood, right? And they're okay, they're great, they feel great about themselves and about their weight. There are people who also have excess weight, but they still feel great in their body, and that's amazing. That's amazing. If that excess weight doesn't affect their health, it doesn't affect their hormones, it doesn't affect their activity, like their energy, and other areas of their life, then great. Then absolutely great. This is the first one. Another one is people who have lost weight, who had excess weight, lost weight, and they are like in a very healthy plan, right? They only eat healthy foods, right? They are exercising, and that's amazing, unless they have a fear of gaining the weight back. If they have a fear of gaining the weight back, they need to work on that belief, on that fear, right? Because otherwise they will always be in that unconscious fear, like, oh, I have to limit myself here and limit myself here. And they will keep the weight, but this fear is going to exhaust them. Fears usually take a lot of energy from us. Another group of people, if people who keep getting on diets, they keep getting on many diets until they just drift back, or they sleep off the diet, right? They are trying different methods, different treatments, different approaches. They use different resources, right? But they still feel that something is wrong, right? Something is wrong, nothing works, or if it works, it doesn't work for a long time, or they get scared. There are many times, and I'll talk about that. What's the reason why you start to lose weight and you freak out and you just slip back into your own eating habits, right? Or lifestyle habits. And another group is the people who actually, do eat healthy. They do eat healthy, but the weight still stays, right? The weight just doesn't go away, not even a pound. So that's the group as well. Let's talk about it later, right? And the last one is the people who gave up. It's usually when the depression comes in, right? When we start to disconnect from ourselves, when we feel there is no point in doing anything for our body and mind, right? So please be mindful. What group are you falling into, right? And it's just my personal, right, division, how I divide so that I can approach differently these people, because these people have different roots and causes, right? And the things that when I work with clients with weight loss, right, I usually ask them, right, how was your journey? How was your weight loss journey? What was holding you back? What worked the best, right? So And we feel that, oh, there is something wrong with us. There is something wrong with us if we cannot lose weight, or we fear of gaining weight back, or we just cannot lose any weight at all. We feel like there is something wrong with us. We start to blame ourselves. We start to have this shame about our body, like lower confidence and all of that. I'm not good enough. So what if your body is actually talking to you? What if your body is not punishing you? It's not going against you. That your body is actually your best friend. What if your body wants to show you something? What if your body wants to protect you? There is always a purpose of the weight, of the excess weight. There is always a purpose of the excess weight. So let's go. You have to think about that moment when you started to gain weight. If you have always been overweight, then there is a generational trauma, there is a pattern, there is ancestral, like you have to work on the parental patterns, right? I have clients who told me, like, I have been obese since I was born. Right? Like, so we work on those beliefs. We worked what happened, like, in the uterus, right? Like we talk about like much earlier stages, right? What happened on earlier stages? What happened with their parents, right? And like how the parental habits and patterns affected that my client's life and health. So you can work on that as well. You can change even if you were born with it. Like epigenetics, please read more about it. Epigenetics, the ability of your genes to change under the environment. If you change the environment, you can change your genetics, right? So, or you can help your genes to work in a different way, but I am not, I'm not an expert in that. I know the basics, but I'm not an expert. If you want more information, you should definitely watch some videos about that. There are experts who really explain how that works, because we have a strong belief. Most of the people have strong beliefs that, oh, it's genetics. There is nothing I can do. No. Maybe it was like that 50 years ago, but many years from now, we have new research, we have new studies coming up, right? New discoveries that you can change even something that you were born with. So I want you to really close your eyes, like right now. Close your eyes and think about that time when you started to gain weight. When you started to gain weight, when you started to notice that the pounds are just coming on, adding on, right? Where your eating habits changed. When you started to feel like your jeans or your pants are becoming very tight, right? Think about that time and think about what happened before that. What happened around that time? Maybe you married. You got married and it was stressful for you, like you were giving away your freedom, right? Or maybe you separated. Maybe there was a divorce in your family, right? Maybe your parents divorced, or maybe you divorced, right? What happened? Maybe you were moving to another country, to another city, to another house, right? So something that happened. Maybe you changed jobs. Maybe there was a switch of career. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe you lost a loved one. Maybe someone died. Your grandmother, your grandfather, your sister, your brother, one of your parents, right? What happened at the time when you started to gain weight, or even before that, couple of months before that, right? Because by the time the trauma starts to really show up, it's not always in the moment, right? It's usually after the traumatic experience. Maybe COVID became a huge reason for people gaining weight, right? So what happened? What were your thoughts during the pandemic, right? Some women, moms got a lot of kids. They gave birth to many kids, like one after the other. And that was really hard because she had to put her needs last and tend to her little babies, right? So she might have started to really eat those feelings, right? Eat those feelings up. Maybe there was a coping mechanism, right? The food became a coping mechanism with stress, pressure at work from your boss. Maybe there was an illness. Just close your eyes and think about what happened in your life approximately at that time, or maybe 6 months before that, up to 6 months before that. When you can do that, you can actually find what triggered your eating habits, or what triggered the weight gain, right? So now as you open your eyes, you can look back at me and we can go on to think about what beliefs you have, right? Once you understand, right, there are other beliefs that you can form that can help, that are holding you back from losing weight. Let's think about sometimes our parents, if they are overweight, or even if they don't, right? But they feed you and start to like really feed you. They're so focused on feeding you when you were a child and you didn't eat a lot, right? They believe that, oh, being skinny is being sick. Right? So that belief, you can adopt that belief as well, right? Being skinny is being sick. So, or maybe you adopted the belief, I have to be stronger, right? Maybe you changed the job and you went to a new job and your boss is very demanding, right? Or you became a manager, a project manager, you became a supervisor, and that role involves a lot of responsibility and you were not ready mentally for that. So your body helps you in that. I was like, okay, I'll become stronger. I'll become stronger and bigger. And stronger means bigger, right? So that could be your protection, right? To be stronger. Maybe sometimes we work in the environment where there is a lot of pressure, right? We need to protect ourselves. We need to become stronger and bigger, right? Maybe there was a sexual abuse in your childhood, and then you formed the belief that I cannot be sexual. I cannot feel pretty and attractive. No, at no way. So your body starts to create another protective layer, right? I'll make you so big that no one looks at you, right? It's not because it's your fault, but because your child's mind decided that I don't want that pain, I don't want that hurt anymore, and your body and your mind went into the team and created for you I know some people are obese, right, because of the sexual abuse and physical abuse in childhood. Right, so the need to protect yourself, right? Sometimes we don't feel like we are heard or seen, right? So when there are a lot of kids in a family, right, and not everyone gets attention, sometimes the child can form the belief, I need to be more important, I need to be seen, and in order to be seen, I will be bigger. Right? So very interesting belief that can lead to a person gaining weight in order to be noticeable. I have to be visible, because if I'm small, I'm not visible, right? So sometimes very skinny kids become obese, you know. Who knows? There's something that happened, and I never say that that's 100% psychosomatic, the mind-body connection. I would say it's more than a half. But of course, it might not be everything. However, I believe there is a psychological part to every illness that you have, every emotional pain, every physical symptoms, unless it's just an injury, you know, like that you got from the world. But the illness, the physical symptoms that you come up with, they usually have the psychological part to it. So now the second strategy, the second little tool you can use is think about what number. Well, how many pounds you have overweight, how many pounds you would like to lose. And for a lot of people round up the number. They say like 20, 30, you know, or 50, right? So think about what that number means to you. Yeah, like people say, oh, I want to, like all their life, I need to lose 10 pounds. I need to lose 10 pounds. I need to lose 10 pounds, right? I still have those 10 pounds. What does the number 10 represents for you? Something happened in 10, maybe. Maybe when you were 10 years old, that age was very like emotional for you. So something happened and you just carry on, right? That whatever it is, it could be a good tool to uncover the reason for your excess weight, for the weight issue, right? So what number does that represent? In many cases, people who lived in poverty, right? Who didn't have enough money, right? There wasn't enough, and they start to store up. Their body is afraid. Your mind is afraid. What if it's not enough tomorrow? Your logic understands that you are in a modern world. You can take care of yourself as an adult. You can go find a job, but your mind's still stuck in those childhood trauma. Right? In that childhood trauma, I don't have enough, there might not be enough food. So your body starts to store up, and you don't eat that much, but your body keeps gaining weight. And maybe the body is storing up for the future. Sometimes people are limited, very restricted. The parents are very obsessed with the weight issue, right? So they start to limit their kids, their little kids, like starting from like 3, 4, and 5. They start to limit them in food, in fats, in nutrients, in vitamins. They don't give children enough that they need for to grow, and then the mind and the body of the child will also start to store up for the future, right? So that's really good to know, right? Go and look into your past. You are the person who can heal yourself, right? So your body is helping you. Now that you have so many tools, you can absolutely uncover what is behind your weight, right? Why you cannot lose weight, what is holding you back. So your body is absolutely helping you to protect yourself, right? Sometimes your body is compensating for the missing love. Maybe there was like not enough love, so your body creates that layer, cushions, right? Cushions of fat, right? To give yourself more love, right? It is possible as well, right? We use food and snacks, and we crave sugar and these like fatty, sugary carbs, right? That in order to soothe the pain, right? To soothe the pain, to compensate for missing love, to express anger or hurt or pain or inner conflict, right? How you connected food with emotion. When did that happen? You have the tools to do that. Just close your eyes and do all of these tools that I told you. Think about the number, think about the age, what happened in your childhood, or you can say like, what is this way doing for you? And sometimes people get stuck. They know what happened. They understand, like for example, my clients, sometimes they understand what happened, right? They understand the root and the cause, and they can find they don't need that excess weight anymore because it doesn't protect them anymore. So they're ready to let that go, right? But they don't change. And that's when the secondary benefit comes in place. That's very important. Secondary benefits, it's a hidden gain from having the problem. So people who say, I want to lose weight, when I'm ready. Are you? Are you ready? Maybe if you lose weight, you'll start to show up for yourself. You will need to go out there and look for the partner if you are single. Maybe if you lose weight, a man will start, or women, if you're a man, right, will start to look at you in a sexual way. And you're so afraid of that. Maybe you will have to do something that you don't want to do. Like, I don't want to show up, maybe you don't want to have sex with your partner, and your body just comes up with this excess weight, right? Maybe you think that, I will limit myself, right? It was in all of these sugars and carbs and these donuts, and all of that delicious food. If you say limit, then it's always going to be a negative emotion, right? It's always going to be from the place of lack. If you say, I choose not to eat shit, and I choose not to put chemicals into my body, that's so much easier for you. It's going to be so much easier for you to go on a healthier path, right? So maybe you have, your partner likes you to be like that. Some people like their partners to be a little bit chubby, maybe Maybe your partner likes that and you're kind of mirroring that need. So you cannot lose weight, because if you lose weight, what if he doesn't or she doesn't love you? Right? So there is a hidden agenda behind the excess weight. If you don't change, if by uncovering the root cause, you still nothing changes, right? That means that there is a hidden agenda. If you started to lose weight really nicely, you started to notice and you freak out, there is a hidden agenda. There is something that holds you back, right? So I usually go into the secondary benefit with my clients in case there is something that they don't feel the change. So this was a big video, longest video that I've ever had, but all of these things are so important. I really wanted to tell you that. So please, please, please uncover. If you need the guidance, right? I work with weight loss, and you can always book the discovery call to see what's in your case is your protection, or what is the purpose of your weight problems, right? So we can find that together. I wish you all the best. Be happy emotionally and physically. Be healthy emotionally and physically, and I'll see you in the next video.